guys, you guys are watching Ada's Cantina. Today I'm going to be making sofrito. This is actually my first official video. I decided to make sofrito because this is the main ingredient used in most of my recipes. It is a common ingredient in Puerto Rican cuisines, but it can be used mostly for pretty much anything. Chicken, beef, soups, rice, beans. The ingredients that we'll be using today would be garlic, cilantro, onion, different peppers. Different colors helps with the flavor, so it's good to not just do one pepper. Olive oil. When you make this sofrito, it usually makes a good amount, so it's best to have jars to contain it all. Most of the time you use one in the refrigerator, and the rest of them you can freeze them, so when you run out you just defrost them. This recipe was a recipe I had learned from my mother. So I'm going to clean all my vegetables, chop everything up, and then I'll be right back with y'all. Okay, I'm back. I have all my vegetables chopped up. Now the reason why I have two different garlics here is because some people don't feel like doing all the peeling and hard work it takes for garlic, so you can buy the chopped garlic. Sofrito is different for everybody because a lot of the times people change or add things to it. My mom used to just use what's left over in the house. So if she had half an onion left over or some green peppers left over, some cilantro left over, and she needs sofrito, she just threw it together. So it's going to be very rare if you could find a sofrito video where they're all the same. Alright, so let's get started. First off, let's open up the blender. I have a Ninja chopper, but some people use different types of blenders. It doesn't really matter. As long as it blends good, you're good to go. Some people use a food processor. My sofrito, I like it to be kind of, I guess, really blended. Some people like it with pieces, like thicker, I guess. Me personally, I grew up with it very thin, and I have kids who are picky like me who don't like pieces in their food. So I'm going to start by putting olive oil. Here I have is a half a cup of olive oil. I'm going to put that first because it just helps loosen everything so it could blend better. I'm going to go ahead and toss in my garlic, which I had 3 cloves, but I just used 2. I'm going to go ahead and throw this can in there. Let's see, let's get a spoon, get that out of there. I like a lot of garlic in mine because it has such a good smell and a good flavor to the food. Alright, I'm going to start off by putting a little bit of everything in there. So I'll put some cilantro, onions, and a mixture of the green peppers. I'm going to start off by a little bit, and then we can keep adding in there. If it gets full, it's good to have a good bowl so you can pour it out. But if you pour it out, just leave a little bit in there to kind of get the rest of it going. See how this goes. If it still becomes too difficult to blend, you can always add a little bit of water or some more olive oil. Also, you don't have to use olive oil. It can also be cooking oil, doesn't it? Different people use different kind of oils. It's really just to loosen up the food. Go. Let's add a little more in there. Some more cilantro. Some more onion. Some of our different kinds of peppers. See if it blends good. If not, we will add some water or maybe a little bit of oil in there. Go. I'm going to go ahead and pour some out so it doesn't overflow the next time I put more in. I'll leave a little bit in there so that way the rest of it can still blend well. The rest of our cilantro, rest of our onions and vegetables. Now for people who want it thicker, you can always just pulse it instead, so it could just be chopped in thicker pieces. Like I said, my family likes it not seen, shall I say. There's a few chunks in there, so. If you ever notice when you make sofrito, sometimes it comes out to be a different color every time. It just determines you put more green vegetables in there, more of the color. Sometimes you put the more sweeter types of smaller little green peppers in there some people use. I said for me, I just use whatever I have in the house. So sometimes you'll see the sofrito greenish color, light green, dark green. Sometimes it's orange. But it still always smells the same and tastes the same in your food. So I got this handy dandy jar. Now of course you don't want to freeze glass, so I'm only putting in a glass jar because this will be the one I'll be using for my cooking. I will use some of these plastic jars to freeze. What my mother does is she saves plastic jars that she's had from different things she has bought from the store, and then she saves the little plastic containers, so she's always making sofrito. Maybe I can find an easier way for this. Let's see. You can pour it together and mix it anyways. Think about that. So make sure all the ingredients are equal. There we go. I'm going to do this over my sink so there will be a mess. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what my jar looks like. I will store it in my refrigerator and take a couple spoons or however much I want for my food when I cook. Like I said, you can use it for chicken, steaks, soup, rice, beans, all different things. I didn't add any type of seasoning to it because I add seasoning to my food, so I don't usually put seasoning in my sofrito, but you'll see that there is some people who add cumin and garlic powder and other stuff in theirs. I hope you liked my first video. I'm glad you were able to join me. And if you like to see more of these videos I'm hoping to come out with very soon, subscribe. Thank you.